In September 1995, Prince William began an important new chapter in his young life. At just 13 years old, William arrived at Eton College, one of Britain's most famous schools. But this was no ordinary first day of school. The cameras were waiting, the royal family was watching, and the young prince was about to begin a completely different experience away from the traditional royal environment. On this memorable day, Prince William arrived at Eton accompanied by his parents, Prince Charles and Princess Diana, while his younger brother, Prince Harry, was also there to share the occasion. As the royal family arrived at Eton, photographers and journalists captured every moment. Prince William looked composed as he walked alongside his family. For Diana and Charles, however, this was more than simply dropping their son off at school. Their eldest son was growing up. William had spent his childhood under intense public attention, but Eton would give him an opportunity to experience a different kind of education and responsibility. The school was close to Windsor Castle, yet William's life there would be very different from life inside a royal residence. For Princess Diana, moments involving her sons were particularly important. She was often determined to give William and Harry experiences that felt as normal as possible, despite their extraordinary circumstances. On this day, Diana accompanied William to Eton as he began this new stage of his education. The cameras captured her standing beside her son, while William prepared to enter his new school. It was a simple family moment, but because of who they were, it instantly became part of the royal historical record. Prince Charles was also present for the occasion. As William's father and heir to the throne, Charles understood the importance of preparing his eldest son for the responsibilities that would eventually come with his position. But at Eton, William was not simply the future king. He was a schoolboy beginning a new chapter, and beside him was his younger brother Harry, who would later follow his brother to Eton. The images of the two brothers together are particularly fascinating today because they show them during their childhood, long before their adult lives became the subject of worldwide attention. Inside the school, William completed an important part of the registration process. He signed the school's pupil registration book, formally marking the beginning of his time at Eton. For an ordinary student, signing a school register might seem like a small moment. For Prince William, however, it was a moment watched by cameras from around the world. The footage captures William taking part in this simple school tradition while beginning his life as an Eton student. It was a quiet reminder that even a future king must begin with the same basic steps as other students. William's years at Eton would become an important period in his development. Away from the daily routine of royal engagements, he was able to concentrate on his education while living and studying in a school environment. These years would also be remembered as an important stage between his childhood and adulthood. Looking back at the footage today, it is striking to see just how young William was. The boy arriving at Eton in 1995 would eventually become the Prince of Wales and the heir to the British throne. Presence of Princess Diana makes this footage even more significant. Only a few years later, Diana's life would be tragically cut short. That makes these images particularly poignant when viewed with the benefit of hindsight. Here, however, there is no sense of what the future would bring. There is simply a mother accompanying her son on an important day, a father supporting his child, and a young William beginning another chapter of his life. From this young schoolboy at Eton to the Prince of Wales we know today, William's journey has been extraordinary. These rare images preserve a small but unforgettable moment from his childhood, a moment when a future king was simply starting school. A new chapter had begun.